Hey everyone, welcome back to Building Wealth Through Home Ownership. I am Liz Holterhouse, your trusted real estate expert in the Outer Banks. If you've been wondering whether now is the right time to buy a home, you're in the right place. Today, we are talking about how to navigate today's housing market and what you need to know before making a move. There's a lot of talk about the real estate market right now. Some people say it's a seller's market, others say prices are stabilizing. So, what's the reality? And let's take a moment to break this down. First, you need to know whether it's a buyer's market or a seller's market. And here's the difference. In a seller's market, there are more buyers than available homes, leading to higher prices and more competition. In a buyer's market, there are more homes than buyers, giving buyers more negotiating power and possibly better deals. Right now, we still see low inventory in some areas, meaning well-priced homes are selling quickly. But don't let that scare you. There are still great opportunities if you know how to navigate the process. Also, there was a lot of seasonality in and around the Outer Banks that would create more of a buyer's market in the spring versus the fall, things like that. So if you're looking in the Currituck area or Camden or Pasquotank County, for instance, the spring market can be super robust because of the transfer season that takes place with the Coast Guard and the contractors in that area. If you're looking on the Outer Banks, then your spring market also can be pretty robust there because people are looking for potential investment homes, just short-term rental and things like that. So it can vary from season to season, and then of course from year to year, depending on how many homes are selling and what the inventory is. And the reason that you need to know that is if it's a buyer's market, and you're a first-time home buyer, you're usually very tight on funds, and you also need to find the best house for the best price, but oftentimes you need help with closing cost, and you're going to ask the seller to pay your closing cost or part of them. So it's good to know what areas are more of a buyer's market versus a seller's market, or where it is the norm for a seller to pay for buyer's closing costs. And a great realtor is going to be able to tell you exactly those things. Another big topic right now is mortgage rates. Over the past year, we've seen rates rise, and there's something important to remember. Even with higher rates, home ownership is still one of the best ways to build long-term wealth. Even right now, at today's rates, especially with FHA and some of the first-time home buyer programs out there, even with the interest rates as high as they are, your mortgage payment is often very similar to what the high rent is out there, $2,000, $2,200 a month. So if you're affording rent, you might as well afford your own home is how I look at it. Also, rates change over time, and you can always refinance later if they go down. We can also look to do a permanent one-time buy down, meaning paying a point or a fraction of a point to buy your interest rate down to get the payment closer to what is comfortable or where you feel it's comfortable for yourself. So you're not stuck with that interest rate forever, or even at the beginning, there are ways to get it down slightly. But what happens is if you wait until interest rates come down, you could wait, 8-10 years. People who waited in the late 80s when interest rates were at 22%, for you would have waited almost a decade for those rates to come down. But lots of people bought and sold homes and made money through appreciation during those time periods. And right now, in all the markets in and around the Outer Banks, property is still appreciating, meaning it's still going up in value. So if you are hanging on the fence waiting for mortgage rates to go down 0.5% or 1%, or even 2%, if the housing prices continue to climb at 5 to 6% every single year, you've left money on the table. You've waited a year to save 1 or 2% by chance, but you've lost at 3 or 4% gain in what you would have had with appreciation, if that makes sense to you. So the bottom line is the best time to buy a house is when you need a home. Um, and the moral of that story is if you're waiting for rates to drop, you could miss out on a great home and you could miss out on a year or two's worth of appreciation. Instead, just focus on finding a home that fits your needs and your budget today. So let's look at the smart strategies for buying in today's market. So how can you successfully buy a home in today's market? Here are my top 3 strategies. First and foremost, at the earliest onset, is to get pre-approved early. Talk to me. Let me put you in the hands of a really good lender for first-time home buyers. Let's get you pre-approved. Let's figure out if there's grants, if there's different programs that you would qualify for, because knowing your budget before you start house hunting gives you a huge advantage. And you never know when that perfect property is going to come on the market. And if you're not pre-approved and you can't act quickly, you're going to miss it. Sellers always take pre-approved buyers more seriously than just people who are out looking for homes. Be ready to act quickly. Being pre-approved gives you that ability. Homes in popular areas can sell fast, so you've got to be prepared to make an offer when the right one comes up. And that's not, getting prepared is not just being pre-qualified. It's also getting your mindset right and your wants and needs clear, getting a clear intention on what those items are. It's essentially, it's just knowledge that gives you the feeling that I can say yes when the right house comes up for me. And you do all this by just working closely with your agent, that's me, to stay on top of new listings and to get all your research done and get all your questions and your fears out of the way. So when a really great property comes on the market, you can act quickly. And then I would say to you, be open to different options. Maybe your dream home is just out of reach, but a similar home in a different neighborhood is a great fit. Focus on your long-term potential. Your first home can be a stepping stone to your dream home. And something I like to tell people that are looking to purchase their first home, consider your first home your first investment home. If done right, you'll never have to sell that home. You can take your equity out of it, purchase your next dream home in your next set of stepping stones, and convert that original first home to an investment home. And so then the second chapter of this story is you're upgrading to maybe a bigger home, and you now own a new first home and you own your first rental home. And just how great is that? So whether you choose to convert that first home to a rental property, or you choose to take all of the equity you've earned and put it down on your next home to keep your costs down, either way, you are going to be in such a strong position going forward into your second, your third, and your fourth home. And buying your dream home it's not always possible to buy the dream home for many, many reasons. But I would also say don't get hung up on that, because our dream home changes. My image of my dream home has changed multiple times in my life. You know, I built my first home and that was a dream come true. And I built a house I thought I would never outgrow or never leave. And then you add one toddler to that home and 2 self-employed people running businesses out of it. We quickly, in 9 years, outgrew that home, sold it, and moved into about a 3,200 square foot house with an in-ground pool, bonus room, all the things. And then when I found myself with my son graduating college, I'm like looking around thinking, okay, what are we doing with all these rooms? What are we doing with the formal dining room and the living room and the office and all these bedrooms and the bonus room and things like that? So then my husband and I looked to not only downsize, maybe not in square footage because our current home is about the same square footage, but in usage of how we use it. And so my current home, although it was more expensive than any home I've purchased in the past because it's waterfront, it is also 2 homes. It's got a 2-bedroom, 1-bath apartment efficiency attached to it, and I Airbnb that. So I'm able to live in my home and create passive income in the unit attached to it, which is just a dream come true. As you know, I'm looking into my last 10-15 years of my career and then being able to slow down and possibly retire. I've got that income generating for me. So there's some cool options out there as you move up and move down and upsize and downsize and all the things. So I hope this has helped you a little bit. Just remember, the home buying journey and the market are always changing, and it's important. What's important is making smart decisions based on your financial situation and your future goals. Coming up next time is episode 4, and that's a step-by-step home buying process. We're going to walk you through the entire home buying process step by step so you'll know exactly what to expect. If you've been feeling overwhelmed about where to start, you won't want to miss it. If this video was helpful, give me 2 thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any updates. And if you have any questions about the market or need personalized advice today, my contact information is in the description below. Please reach out, email, text, call me, tell me you're ready to get started, and let's either meet virtually. We can meet over Zoom, on the phone, or I can come to you in person and we can get started. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week in the next episode. Liz Holter House, OBX for sale, powered by Keller Williams. Have a great day.